it is fitting that the early passing of Pat hit us all really hard, and this is intended to be a tribute to his memory, to his accomplishments. We're going to start this year. This is sponsored by his brothers. Our brothers are Dexter, who lives in Sydney, Australia. So unfortunately couldn't be here, but he'll watch the footage later on. And the second in line is Greg over here. He's one of the famous brothers. I would be third in line, and then Pat was fourth brother, and Doc over in the corner there is our baby brother. But in putting this together, we've been helped by a lot of people because we've been fortunate to have a very strong circle of friends. And when I asked various persons to assist in putting this together, everybody said, of course we will help. Let me start first with this young lady here, Cece, who's been wonderful. She and I have met several times on this here, and we've shared memories, our fondest memories of Pat, photographs, and then we started to rope in all the others between us. So thanks, Cece. Appreciate it very much. Vic Fernandez is also one of our panelists. Vic is not here today, but everybody knows who Vic is, a media personality, manager of media houses. He's been an entrepreneur for as long as I've known him, and I've known him, I think, since he was a teenager. Yep, he was once a teenager. But my favorite memory of him is as the head altar boy at the Roman Catholic Church. And if you can look at Vic and believe he was an altar boy. Another good friend who's responded to our call for help is John Walcott. And thank you for coming today, John. John, we've been good friends for a long time, connected through the arts. John is best known, as you probably know, as for two of his characters, Fufu, who's kept me in stitches for years, and Stabby the Guard. But John is also a teacher, and he himself is an excellent fine artist. I've seen many of his works all around. In fact, when I was a director at what's now Republic Bank, we have lots of your paintings in our boardroom and corporate headquarters. Thanks for coming. And on the same table is Corey Scott. And Corey is also going to be one of our panelists, along with John and Vic and Cece and myself. What I love about Corey's description, when Corey sends you an email, she describes herself as an artist, a photographer, and if you see some of her photographs on Facebook, they're astounding. So she's an artist, a photographer, and a publisher, but the one I like best is where she says a dreamer. Because you can't be a member, you can't succeed in the arts, in my opinion, without doing a lot of dreaming. And it's the kind of dreaming that's really where you're conceptualizing new things to do and new ways to say, new ways to express your artistic talents. So thank you, Corey, for coming today and for agreeing to be a member of the panel. Mandy, or Amanda, Patrick's eldest, sitting over here, is also going to be on our panel. You would know Mandy as a musician. In fact, she sang a very touching tribute to Pat. She sang the song Hallelujah, a few of the 98 verses of it. And she also plays guitar. I think she takes that from me. I think she's taught by Pat, who's a much better guitarist than me. But Mandy is also very well known in entertainment circles as the premier makeup artist in Barbados. And one day she's going to work on making me look good. Mahmood Patel is another of our panelists. And Mahmood, you would know, or as we call him, Mood, is a film director, which is where I first came across him in that role. But he's also a hotelier, and he tells me he's now an agriculturalist. So a man of many parts. I asked him if I could also see he's a multimillionaire, and he said not yet. And our final panelist is my good friend Peter Boyce. He and I have done many things in the arts together, including run a Calypso tent that's temporarily dormant. And I'm sure we're going to do many things. And in fact, he and I are working closely together on a new production, a Caribbean musical, and we'll hear more about that in the coming months, along with some of the other people in this room. But Peter, I always think of him as Mr. Entertainment. I first came across Peter when he was on the Mad Half Hour some years ago. Most amusing. But besides being a performing artist, he's very much an entrepreneur in the field of arts. He's a business partner of mine. He's a business entrepreneur in entertainment. And he's also an on-air personality. And I think he sits on quite a few boards in Barbados, including CBC board. So thanks, Peter. My ex-sister-in-law, Ella Hoyos, has kindly volunteered after I pressed her into service. No, she volunteered immediately to do any legal work that we would require. So thank you, Ella. And this would not have been put together without the immense help and cooperation of the staff of our company, and our CEO, Tamara, and Tamara over there, and Nicole, our IT manager, and Michelle, our deputy CEO, and Alana, our executive assistant. All those worked really hard to put together and repurpose the room this morning. This is normally where Parliament eats their sumptuous lunches during the breaks, and Senate too, I must add, since Senator Adams is staring me in the face. So it's repurposed into this press conference. We also hold our board meetings in here as well. And thanks to all of the family that came today. And I acknowledge the presence of Sophie, Pat's beloved widow, and his best friend, Tony Cumberbatch, and his much better half. So thank you all for coming, and I think I will just want to say that in future, we're starting with 5 awards, and we will expand this by next year. We just want to get the teeth and problems out of the way. And next year, I think we'll have double the awards I'm expecting, because so many friends and business friends and acquaintances, good friends of Pat, have volunteered to step up and say, we would like to sponsor one of those awards. So while this year starts purely with the family doing this year as our tribute to a beloved brother, next year we will expand it into the many persons that have volunteered to help make it bigger. So we envisage this becoming a permanent feature of the landscape. And we made it not only journalism, which is where Pat was best known in recent years, but he was also a key member of our group, the Brothers, and he was the lead vocalist for a lot of songs that to this day are still played on the air. And he was always my best friend and my staunch support in everything we did in the arts. And next year we will expand the eligible tertiary institutions from the BCC and UE, and we will bring in more institutions that run relevant programs to what we're aiming to reward. Students will be nominated by the faculties of BCC and UE to us, and then the panel that I just introduced briefly will make the final determination.